So John, some interesting malware with the Telegram Messenger came out this week. You have a story on that?
Yeah, so there was a blog posting article put out about the Telegram Messenger. The real story is that a vulnerability was detected in, or kind of an exploit in the Windows client of Telegram. We've actually seen it. It's an old trick, probably from like 3-4 years ago, maybe even longer. It's hard for me to keep track of it all. That was really popular in email attachments for a while. In the old days, you get an email attachment, and the attachment would have something like a file name of 12exe.rf or something like that. But what they really did is the exe.rf is actually reversed.
Right.
So some languages, you'd read from the reverse direction. Arabic is one of those languages that supports that. But you can actually do it midstream in a string. So you can have a string of text, and somewhere right in the middle, you could say, flip this around. But the file really on disk is the right way. So you can make an executable that ends in .exe and then kind of flip around just the bits around the trailing dot there, so it looks like it ends in some other extension when you look at it on the screen.
Danger to users is that this is possibility to click on something that you think is harmless, but really there's a malicious file type, and all the systems detections and the security tools, they still think it's that PNG or PDF or.
Well, they may or may not. I'm not quite sure, an antivirus or other tools might be smart enough to know that and say something. So, a typical tactic, and one of the ones they gave is they made an extension that looks like it ends in .png, but it really ends in .js. They just rotated those around.
sj.png.
Right, it was sj.gnp or something like that, right? And they flicked it.
Right.
Keys too. I mean, when it goes to run it, it actually prompts you, do you want to run this? You're thinking, well, why am I running a GIF or a JPEG?
If you do click on something and you get unexpected behavior, so I click on a PNG, which is an image file, if I get a window that says, do you want to run this file? Well, why am I running a PNG? Or why am I executing a PDF?
If you're not careful when you look at it, you'll see it on your screen, but it won't really necessarily show it to you in reverse, depending on how your Windows is set up. So it might look like you're going to open a PNG, but like John said, it's saying, do you really want to execute this?
Yeah.
But still, a lot of people might not even, catch wind of that, and they'll say, yeah, it's just an image. It's okay.
Or you're just so used to clicking OK because you have, certificate errors and things that you're used to just ignoring, right?
Right. The real thing here to me is that they're purporting to be a relatively safe file type when they're not in reality. So they're pretending to be a .png image, but in reality it's a JavaScript or an executable or something of that nature that really is going to run. Telegram has since fixed this problem, so it's not there anymore, which is good. So if you update your Windows client, you should be okay. It's actually a really good write-up that they did, because they found that it was being used primarily by Russian cybercrime criminals. Beyond the tactic itself, they also gave some practical examples of some real malware. So it was kind of interesting to see how they did their analysis there. The machine knows that it's an executable and not an image. And it's kind of telling you, I'm going to execute this, as opposed to just opening it in some kind of viewer. That should be kind of a warning sign, but a lot of people, unless they're really paying attention, might not notice that. So it is one of those kind of tricky things you really need to be aware of when you're opening attachments.
A user should ask themselves, why am I running this file? Is this a runnable? Is this an executable? It shouldn't be. So, kind of common sense, but just being focused on what you're doing on your machines.